everyone, it's Lily here at AIBC in Asia, and I'm joined by Cholo Maputol, and you are joining us here from Pif Nation, PIF Nation, however you want to say it. Please tell us all about Pif Nation.
Perfect. Hey everyone. So Pif Nation, we are essentially building Asia's largest user acquisition and retention platform for developers to acquire players here in Southeast Asia, Philippines, Indonesia, and Vietnam currently. And how we do it is a combination of working with community builders and KOLs, and also providing attribution to games so they know exactly which channels are the most effective. And really, we see a lot of traction from the Web3 community that don't necessarily have the distribution rails available in this part of the world, but would still like to acquire players and retain players from here. So we've gotten good traction from the likes of Immutable X, Mighty Bear Studios, and lots more of other brands that are coming on board.
And you're mainly based here in Asia, or do you also operate worldwide?
So basically, all of our team is based in Asia. So myself, the management team, as well as the developers and marketing teams are spread out across Singapore, Philippines, and Indonesia. But our clients are global. So we can serve games that are from the US, from Europe, Korea, China, that want to distribute their games into this part of the world. And yeah, I think a lot of them don't necessarily understand the nuance of Southeast Asia and the market. And we help them kind of like sift through that noise of go-to-market strategy and UA. And we were able to provide better conversion and higher retention than their traditional marketing channels.
I mean, all you need to do is look around you today and you see how much potential there is in this field, in this world. It's absolutely incredible. And how have you seen the industry progression over the last, let's say, year? How has things been progressing? Has it slowed at all, or has it been crazy busy, especially here in Asia?
I think it's a great question. So we started out life as a play-to-earn guild, and because of the ups and downs of that market, we've had to require a pivot in terms of our strategy. But at the end of the day, we still see more and more game developers coming out with games, and there's a long tail of developers, as I mentioned, that don't have the distribution rails and the network to push out their games to players here. At the same time, for players, the problem that they have is there's just too many games, and how do I sift through that? How do I know which games are worth my time? And we've seen that ultimately how we're approaching it is we want to also empower communities and gamers. So from interacting with our suite of games, our platform, the gamers start to build a player identity. And that's really where, for them, they have some form of exit or terminal value to their time spent gaming. So if they spend multiple hours playing first-person shooter games or MOBAs, then we can provide them that data so that in the future, if a game wants to acquire them because they've spent this amount of time in this particular type of game, it makes it easier for them to get a better experience. So that's how we also use kind of data and Web3 NFTs to supercharge the empowerment of gamers and game communities in this region.
Amazing. Now, how do you see growth within this region worldwide? I guess you see the gaming industry just continuing to grow.
Yeah, I mean, the reason we're in Southeast Asia is we really see this as the growth engine for gaming moving forward. Southeast Asia is unique. It's one of the largest, if not the largest, mobile-first gaming communities. You also see it having GDP growth much faster than the rest of the world. You have player population growing much faster than the rest of the world. And importantly, because of that, ARPU is growing here fastest than anywhere else in the world. So while the traditional mindset from game developers around Asia was that these are players that don't really spend that much money, I think we're starting to see that shift. And game developers that understand that have been looking more and more in this part of the world to kind of like anchor their game and acquire users before they get kind of like snapped up by the bigger IPs.
I think you were discussing play to earn as well a little bit earlier. So in my mind, from talking to people, it has been something that's sort of slowed down in the market. But do you see that it could also pick up, or is it something that's probably not going to be the future of gaming?
Yeah, I'll be on a panel during AIBC to talk about play to earn and sustainability of it, actually. But where we see fundamentally is that play to earn in its first version was not perfect. There's a lot of things that were kind of like, with the benefit of hindsight, was very clearly unsustainable, like giving out essentially free money for just playing games, not prioritizing skill, but prioritizing time. that was inevitably going to end up in kind of like where we are today. What we see in the future is that games are more recognizing that there is a need to create sustainable business models. If people are going to make money from playing, that money has to come from somewhere, not just from tokens minted out of thin air. So we see more models now where, for example, games fund rewards through sponsorships, fund rewards through how other brands want to access that player community. So I think if it's that more sharing the revenue from the game with the players rather than just using token incentives as a way to retain a community is much more sustainable. Of course, I don't think it's going to be much, it won't be as enriching as the prior iterations, but if you're a skilled player, you can still earn a lot of money, which is always, I think, the more fair and correct incentives for the industry.
It's going to be like a play to earn 2.0 where they're going to bring it back, but better than ever, and it still will have value to the gaming industry. And how have you found being here at AIBC? Have you made lots of contacts? Have you been meeting lots of people?
I think it's a great event. The vibrancy of this event is much better and stronger than some of the events I've been to in Asia, and I think it's also a great insight into like the gaming, the casino gaming industry, which we don't necessarily see in other parts of the world. And I do see there's a lot of synergies between crypto gaming, metaverse, and casino gaming, and I think it's just a great event to see what other people are doing out there and other models are being created, especially in that intersection of these communities.
Exactly. It's how we can all come together, work together to create even more amazing gaming, even better blockchain projects, everything. It's like a 360 of the industry where we all can come together, contribute, and as I say, make it a better industry. And you're going to be on our panel as well. So you're excited for that one?
Of course, I think it's always, well, play to earn and gaming guild is always an interesting topic, especially here in the Philippines, where it was essentially I would say the kind of epicenter of play to earn and gaming guilds coming to the fore and essentially taking the crypto world by storm. So it would be interesting to share my insights around how we see the space evolving, where it's going to take us moving forward. I don't think we're going to go back to the old way, but that doesn't mean there's no way forward. And I think that's what would be an interesting and exciting to talk about.
Yeah, I think it's also having speakers like yourself, Cholo, here that are talking about the amazing topics that we have. And I think that's what's also making this such a big couple of days here in Manila, because people are so excited to see people like you discussing incredible topics. So thank you so much for joining us here in Manila. Enjoy your rest of the time here.
No, thanks for having me. And again, great event. And I look forward to being involved in the future AIBC events, whether here or the rest of the world.